going to go ahead and start. There we go. Today's story is actually the story of Jack and the Beanstalk, for those of you who didn't know, but this version is a little bit different. This is called Kate and the Beanstalk, and this version was written by Mary Pope Osborne. We have it right here in the library. There are a few twists to this story, and I hope that you like them. Okay? So, don't forget, the best way to listen to a story is to listen. If someone around you is talking, please feel free to kind of give them that shh, shh sign, because that's disruptive. We can't enjoy it as much when people are talking. So, let me go ahead and get our setting in place. Here we go. Without further ado, here's the story of Kate and the Beanstalk. Once upon a time, there lived a woman with her child, her daughter, Kate. They loved each other very much, but they were extremely poor. They did not have enough money for most things in life, and they got to the point that they did not have enough money for food. And they were hungry, and hungrier, and hungriest. And Kate's poor little arms were nothing but bones, and her poor little legs were nothing but bones. And it got to the point that finally one day her mother said to her, "Kate, we're going to have to sell our cow to get money to buy food." This is their cow. This is the cow. And Kate said, "No, Mother, I love my cow." But they literally were going to starve if they did not sell their cow and get some money to buy some food. So Kate set off for the market with her cow. And along the way, she passed a little beggar woman on the side of the road. And the beggar woman said, in a creaky voice, "Magic beans?" Now, Kate knew that she was on a mission to go to the market and sell her cow and get money to eat. But there was something about these magic beans that just pulled at her. So she stepped closer to the woman. What do you mean, magic beans?" And the woman said, "I'll sell you these magic beans in exchange for your cow." Do you think that Kate's mother wants her to sell the cow in exchange for magic beans? Yeah. Well, I don't know if her mother did or not, but she did it. Kate said, "Okay, I'll trade you my cow for the magic beans." And so she gave the cow to the beggar woman, and she skipped on home with nothing but a handful of beans. And of course, when she got home with nothing but a handful of beans, her mother was furious. "What do you mean you traded our cow for a handful of magic beans?" Magic beans? And her mother was so angry that she took that handful of beans and she threw them right out the window. Story time in the library, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, Kate felt bad. She thought, "I didn't mean to make my mother furious, but they just seemed so wonderful," and they both went to bed that evening, hungry. Kate awoke in the middle of the night with stomach gurgling. She was so hungry. And she decided, "I'm going to look out the window into the garden, and I'm going to see if there's any food to be found in the garden." So she peeked out of her bedroom window. But what should she see in the back corner of the garden but something very tall and very leafy? Kate skipped out of her room, skipped out the front door. She loved adventure. She was a very plucky girl. And when she got to the back corner of the garden, she found an enormous beanstalk. And it went up and up and up so high she could not see. Again, Kate, she was brave. Kate, she was courageous. She decided to climb that beanstalk. So she did. She began to climb up and up and up and up and up. She climbed all night long. And just when the sun was beginning to rise, she saw at the top of this beanstalk a castle in the clouds. Cool, right? Yeah. Kate, again, she was plucky and courageous. And Kate stepped off the beanstalk onto a grassy lane that headed right up towards the castle, and she began to walk. Who should she see along the side of the road but a very old woman? She turned to the very old woman and she said, "Excuse me, ma'am, who lives there in that castle?" The woman said, "Oh, my dear, it's a very sad tale. You see, in that castle there used to live a very brave knight and his beautiful wife and their tiny infant child. They were a wonderful family, and they were in possession of great riches, great wealth, including a golden hen that laid golden eggs, a bag of magic gold coins, and the most wondrous harp in all the land. But alas, a giant came to the castle one day, slayed the knight, and the maid, his wife, the widow now, and her child were forced to flee down to the valley below. The old woman turned to Kate and said, "Maybe you are the one who could fix this situation. You see, that knight's wife and her poor orphaned child have been hungry now for months and months. They've lost their wealth and riches. They have nothing to eat. Maybe you could help them by stealing those things back from the giant." Well, Kate, again, brave and courageous girl, said, "Sure, why not?" And so she left the old woman and walked towards the castle. Right when she got up against the castle doors and was about to open the handle herself, the door flung open, and before Kate stood the world's most giant woman. She was a giantess, and the giantess said, "Cover your ears." "Help! Help!" Kate was almost blown to the ground by the sound from this giantess, and she looked up at the giantess and said, "Help with what?" The giantess said, "My husband, the giant, forces me to cook. From the rooster's crow to the owl's hoot. All day long I'm working, and I need help. I need a servant who can cook for me." Well, Kate thought, this is the perfect excuse to break into this castle. I think I'll take it. So in Kate went into the kitchen, and the giantess and Kate began to prepare breakfast. In the middle of preparing breakfast, Kate heard a terrifying sound. Oh, she thought, it's the giant, he's coming, what shall I do? And the giantess, "Oh, it's my husband, you need to hide. You see, my husband doesn't really like little humans." So the giantess scooped up Kate, opened up a closet, and slid her in, closed the door, and all Kate could do was peek through the little keyhole. Well, the giant came in, and this is the part of the story that's famous, so if you think you know it, you're welcome to join in with me. And if you get the hang of it throughout the course of the story, you can join in with me. That giant, he said, "Fee, fi, fo, fummin." It's fummin this time. Tricked you up. "Fee, fi, fo, fummin. I smell the blood of an English woman." Got it? Yeah. "Be she alive or be she dead, I'll grind her bones to make my bread." Oh, that sounds terrifying. It sounds bread? Oh my gosh. The giantess turned to her husband and said, "That is not the blood of an English woman you smell. That's the wagon load of bacon that I made for your breakfast." And the giant said, "Oh." So he ate his entire breakfast, and he ate so much that he began to feel sleepy. You know that warm, full, sleepy feeling? Well, the giant, he wanted a little bit of entertainment before he took a nap, so he called to another servant in the castle and said, "Servant, servant, bring me my magic hen, the one that lays golden eggs." Well, from inside the closet, Kate thought, "Oh, that's one of the things that I'm supposed to steal. This is perfect." So out came the servant holding the hen. Just go with it, guys. The hen. Oh, and the giant, he loved this hen. He began to sing to the hen, "Lay me golden eggs, lay me golden eggs." And sure enough, nope, the hen laid, whoops, that didn't break, a golden egg. Magic. Go with it, go with it. Kate, from inside the closet, knew that she had to find a way to steal that golden egg-laying hen and the golden eggs. So when the giant had finally lulled himself to sleep, Kate opened the closet door, tiptoed through the kitchen, snatched the golden egg, and ran out of the castle doors and back to the beanstalk. Sorry, I forgot the word. She was climbing down the beanstalk, down the beanstalk, down the beanstalk, back to her house because she knew if that giant discovered she'd stolen the golden egg, she was dead. So she got back to her house, winded, because that was a long journey back down the beanstalk. And she realized, well, I have the golden egg-laying hen. I need to give it back to the widow and her child, but I better stay down here for a couple hours just to, get the giant off my trail. So she hid the egg in her yard, went into her house, and went to bed. Okay, day 2, she wakes up. I'm gonna go back up there. I'm gonna see if I can steal the other stuff and return that hen to the widow. But she realized I can't go back looking like myself because that giantess will recognize me. So she put on a disguise. Wait for it. Oh, perfect. Kate, in her mustache and wig, decided I'm going to travel back up that beanstalk today and finish this business. So she started to climb up and up and up and up and up and up the beanstalk. Sure enough, when she gets to the top, she sees the castle in the clouds. She approaches the front door, but who should open it? The giantess. Help! Help! I need a servant! My first servant stole my hen! I need a new servant! Well, Kate, plucky and courageous, said, I'll help you. No, I'll help you. So she got into the kitchen with the giantess, and they started making breakfast. Mountains and mountains of hash. They were in the middle of making breakfast when they heard, if you want to do it with me, you can. Kate realized the giant can't see me. He's gonna grind my bones and make me into bread. And so sure enough, the giantess said, well, I know. We'll hide you in the closet. That worked last time. So she opens the closet door, shoves Kate into the closet, closes the door. Kate peeks through the peek hole, and she hears the giant again.
Fee, fi, fo, fummin'. I smell the blood of an English woman. Be she alive or be she dead, I'll grind her bones to make my bread.
Terrifying. That was terrifying. Kate continued to watch through the peephole, and the giantess turned to the giant and said, that's not the blood of an English woman you smell. That's the mountains of hash we made for your breakfast. And the giant said, oh. So he ate his mountains of hash. He felt sleepy again. And this time he called to a servant and he said, servant, servant, bring me my pouch of magical gold coins. I want to play with them. I want to count them. I want to sniff them. That's weird. So the servant brought the pouch of magical gold coins. Pennies. Just go with it. And sure enough, the giant began to play with his mountains of coins. And Kate from the closet said, oh, that was the second thing I'm supposed to steal. This is perfect. So the giant, he's sleepy from his hash browns. He's playing with his lovely gold coins that he loves so much. And as soon as he finally falls asleep, Kate, in disguise, sneaks out of the closet, tiptoes over to the table, scoops up the gold coins, and runs out of the castle back to the beanstalk. And she goes down and down, down and down, and down and down, and down and down, until she arrives at her own house and then realizes again, gosh, now I have gold coins and a golden egg-laying hen, but I can't go up there right now. They're hot on my tail. So she hid the gold coins with the gold egg-laying hen. She goes to bed. She wakes up the next morning. You probably can imagine what happens. She has to steal the third thing. She has unfinished business. So she again puts on a third disguise. Oh, wait for it. Wait for it. Oh. So when she's fully in disguise, she travels a third time back up the beanstalk. Up and up and up and up and up and up. When she gets to the tippy top, she sees the castle in the clouds. She goes to the front door. Who's going to open it? Help! The giantess. Help! My last servant stole my magic gold coins. I need a new servant to help me cook breakfast. And Kate says, I can help you. What? Kate says, I can help you. So she goes in, yeah, of course, that's how the story goes. She goes into the kitchen, and she begins to help the giantess's wife, the giant's wife, giantess, make breakfast. And they make, it says in the book, an ocean of fish stew. How gross is that? Gross for breakfast, but whatever. They make an ocean of fish stew. In the middle of cooking, they hear the sound. The giantess says, quick, quick, we must hide you. And she opens up the closet door. Kate is becoming pretty familiar with this closet. And she pushes Kate into the closet, and she closes the door. And Kate peeks out the peek hole to, sure enough, hear the giant one more time say, Fee, fi, fo, fummin'. I smell the blood of an English woman. Be she alive or be she dead, I'll grind her bones to make my bread. Terrifying. Well, the giantess turns to the giant and says, for the last time. It is not the blood of an Englishwoman that you smell. It's the ocean of fish stew I made for breakfast. And he says, oh. He ate an entire ocean of fish stew. And he was so full that he became tired once again. But no, he needed more entertainment before sleep. So again, he called to a servant from within the castle. Oh, servant, bring me my wondrous magical golden harp. And in the closet, Kate, that's the third thing I need to steal. This is perfect. So a servant comes in with the harp. It's my harp. Okay. Me too. So the harp begins to sing. I am a harp and I used to belong to a knight, but he killed by a giant. I am a harp and I used to be owned by a knight who's dead from a giant.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So the music from this beautiful golden harp lulls the giant once more to sleep. He's sleeping on the table. And Kate creeps once again out of the closet. She sneaks over to the kitchen table. She steals the golden harp from next to the giant. But unfortunately, this magic singing golden harp doesn't like being grabbed by strange little girls. The harp began to cry, help, 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 help. And that woke the giant up. He turned just in time to see Kate fleeing out the castle doors. And she was heading towards the beanstalk, and he began to follow her. So she ran. She went down and 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 down. But the giant was right behind her, coming down and down and down and down and down and down. Well, luckily, Kate hit the ground first. She ripped off her disguise, and she said, Mother! Mother, I need the axe! Well, her mother came running out of the house with an axe. When your child says she needs an axe, she needs an axe. So the mother brought the axe, and Kate, in one mighty blow, cut down that beanstalk. The giant was still on it, and when the stalk fell, he crashed to the ground and broke his neck. Well, before Kate could say anything to explain this whole crazy situation, her mother turns to look at the giant and said, that is the giant that killed my husband! And Kate looked at her mother, and her mother looked at Kate. The mother said, I didn't have the heart to tell you because I've missed him so, but your father was a brave knight who was slain by this giant. Well, before Kate could even respond, a little wagon made out of watermelons appeared from the sky, and riding in it was a fairy. And the fairy turned to Kate and said, Kate, my dear, I am queen of the fairies. I also, however, was the beggar selling magic beans. And I also was the little old woman in the front yard of the castle. I've been watching you. All of us fairies are so upset about the death of your brave father, and we wanted to revenge him, but we had to test and see if you were worthy of the castle next. And you, my dear, you have passed the tests. You are brave and courageous and helpful and kind, and so you and your mother can return to your home. Oh, they were so happy. They scooped up the magic items, and they got into the watermelon cart, and they flew up and up and up and up and up to the castle where they planned to live for the rest of their days. But there's still one more problem. The giantess. She still lived there. Come to find out, she didn't actually really like living with her husband or cooking for him all day long or doing any of his chores. So when Kate approached the front door of the castle, she said bravely to the giantess, Giantess, would you like to stay and live here and just cook small meals for my mother and I? And the giantess said, yes, I would. Can I make you some breakfast? And at the end of the story, the giantess made for Kate and her mother a biscuit as big as a cow. The end.